Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to PWIAS. Please confirm whether the audio and video is clear. So this is my official Telegram channel, people. Any doubts that you have, you may please contact me over here. Good morning, Sakshi. Now, FW RIGGS yesterday, we had basically wound up two things. One is the agraria industrial model, which FW RIGGS himself took it out, and later he came out with what is called as fused prismatic diffracted model. In the second model, we were discussing about the features of the prism. What is it? What are its features? And in that, when we were continuing, we were dealing with overlap. And overlapping, as per the theory, has several dimensions. Political system, when we talk about it, is bureaucratic polity. Economic system, when we talk about it, is bazaar canteen model. Social system, when we talk about it, is polycommunalism or cliques. Cultural system, it is polynormativism or normlessness. Administrative system, it is nepotism. So this is what we are going to see now, one by one. Clear? Good morning, Suganya. Good morning, Satish. So political system, bureaucratic polity. There is a separation of authority and control. RIGGS observed that a balanced polity is characterized by a balance between the power enjoyed and exercised by the politicians and the bureaucrats. While bureaucrats are expected to implement policies made by political leaders, they in actual behavior carry considerable informal influence on the drafting of policies and in controlling the governance system through their high intellectual ability, communication powers, specialized knowledge, and long administrative experience. मतलब असल में पावर बैलेंस होना चाहिए किन दोनों किसके बीच पॉलिटिशियंस के बीच एंड एडमिनिस्ट्रेटर्स के बीच there should be a balance. But what is the reality in a developing country or in a prismatic society where it has features of both agrarian and industrial system? We generally see that the bureaucrat is a very powerful entity there. Bureaucrat जो करना चाहते हैं कर सकते हैं. Bureaucrat policies पर influence कर सकते हैं. Bureaucrat policy implementation में भी influence कर सकते हैं. यानी कि पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम जो है एक प्रिस्मेटिक सोसाइटी के अंदर वहां पर ब्यूरोक्रेसी का राज विल बी वेरी हाई. दैट इज व्हाट इज टेलिंग. क्योंकि इट इज नेदर किंग्स रूल नॉर इट इज अ फुल्ली फंक्शनिंग डेमोक्रेसी. बीच में होने की वजह से ब्यूरोक्रेसी का राज बहुत ज्यादा है. इन इंडिया इफ यू सी दिस इज प्रीटी मच ट्रू. One reason why bureaucracy is often criticized, and then a reason also why, unfortunately, a reason why everybody wants to be part of a government job. Because the moment you tell that you are part of the system, people will respect you. So my father-in-law also had got to the police station basically to file a complaint a couple of years ago. Initially, the cops did not even bother. They were going on blaming it. My father-in-law then just mentioned, as he was talking, he just mentioned, my son-in-law is in central government. A chair came from somewhere to make him sit, glass of water came. Getting the point here. He didn't even bother to ask the rank, what job, which department, nothing. central government job, just the word was mentioned, chair came in, water came in. Then they started behaving in a normal way. That is the power exercised by bureaucracy. Getting the point? Now, when I say bureaucracy, please understand, largely it's a whole system. Officials, including cops. Clear? A polity where bureaucrats dominate the governance system is called bureaucratic polity. RIGGS observes that an excessive bureaucratic power leads to lack of controls and regulation and thus to administrative ineffectiveness. एकदम सही है, क्योंकि ब्यूरोक्रेटिक कंट्रोल जैसे जैसे ज्यादा होगा, कंट्रोल और रेगुलेशन उतना ज्यादा तगड़ा नहीं रहेगा. Why? Because it is basically bureaucrats will decide किसको क्या देना. Recall the criticism of bureaucracy. Show me the man, I will show you the rule. सलमान खान ले लो या फिर द तेलुगु सुपरस्टार अल्लू अरविंद ले लो. Now when he was arrested, both of them when they were sentenced to the sub jail, Salman Khan in the hit and run case, Allu Arvind, Allu Arjun, not Arvind, Allu Arjun in the case of a female dying when he had come to a theatre to watch his own movie Pushpa 2, a female died, so he was considered responsible for that death. Lower courts punished them. ये हुआ था तकरीबन 2 बजे या 3 बजे के आसपास पनिशमेंट मिल गया. 5 बजे के अंदर हाई कोर्ट से स्टे भी मिल गया. गेटिंग द पॉइंट हियर. 5 बजे के अंदर हाई कोर्ट से स्टे भी मिल गया. इफ इट वाज यू और मी, guaranteed we are going to jail. But if you have contacts, if you know the right people, you will get things. Getting the point here. Good morning, Satish. Good morning, Abarna. Good morning, Abhinav. On the contrary, there may be a situation where the politicians enjoy excessive powers and control the governance system for achieving their own narrow goals. Even this is an unbalanced polity. It would then be a party-run polity that works against a rational governance system. That is also possible. Polity can be run either by the party or by the bureaucracy. दोनों खराब है. अब इसके लिए I will give you an example. This happened recently in the state of Kerala. An MLA's son was allegedly arrested by the excise department because he was possessing marijuana. Marijuana was found with him. They arrested him. What was the immediate reaction by the government? They transferred that excise officer who conducted the arrest. हमने सब ये चीज मूवीज में देखे होंगे, लेकिन हकीकत भी वैसा ही है. You make any powerful arrest, immediately you're transferred. What it is? Party-run polity. Any doubts with regarding to bureaucratic polity or party-run polity, or the way the political system will generally run in a prismatic society? Any doubts? Economic system, bazaar canteen model. यहाँ पर one thing only you need to understand. Bazaar क्या? Where everything is sold at a wholesale price. Canteen is more of retail price. That is what it is. Wholesale बाजार क्या है? जहां पर सब लोगों को बराबर एक रेट दाम पर आप खरीद सकते हैं. कैंटीन क्या है? अगर आपके पास पैसा है तभी आप जाकर खरीद सकते हैं. Let us see that. In a prismatic society, there exists a price indeterminacy or a bazaar-like situation. While the clients or citizens are the buyers of government services, public officials are the sellers of such services. Although rates and rules are fixed legally for each service, public officials discriminate among citizens and charge higher prices or lower rates depending on a client's status and influence. What we saw earlier उसका continuation है ये. अगर ब्यूरोक्रेसी के पास पावर है तो ब्यूरोक्रेट भी क्या करेंगे? When they have to give something also, they will decide on the basis of what चेहरा देखकर ही काम करेगा. बड़े लोग हैं उनके लिए सस्ता रेट, मामूली आदमी है उनके लिए हायर रेट. Further, the rates of government services are specially subsidized for certain influential social and political groups. Getting the point here? Again, this is the canteen approach where the insiders enjoy more benefits at reduced rates than do the less privileged outsiders. So, बाजार में everything is available to everyone. वो कौन किसको मिलेगा? Bazaar is meant for मामूली citizens. Canteen is meant for खास customers. Getting the point here? That's right. Bazaar and canteen wholesale retail difference is there, but the difference is what? Here you are paying individual attention. बाजार में सब बराबर. Getting the point here? This is the idea. Moving on. Social system, polycommunalism or cliques. In a prismatic society, there simultaneously exists a number of ethnic, religious, and racial groups that are in relatively hostile interaction with each other. Such groups or cliques work in their own interest and try to dominate the governance system. When they come to power, the administrative system or Sala is used to be in favor of a few privileged groups. Sometimes there is proportional representation given to various communities in recruitment to government positions. अब ये क्या? Take India again. Caste system, upper caste, middle class, backward caste, lower caste. So much are there. अब यहां पर क्या आप देखोगे? Religion is there. Each one of them, based on their cultural identity, they form what? Groups or cliques. Cliques means a collective, small group. उसका दूसरा नाम है collect. So these cliques, what they will do? They are always in a hostile relationship. Hostile relationship means उतना they don't like each other. Chance मिलेगा तो मारपीट शुरू हो जाएगा. तो ये लोग, when they get an opportunity to form the government, what will they do? They'll try to support their own group. Number one. Number two, otherwise also they'll try to influence the government. It could be ethnic, religious, racial. Clear? However, when a particular community controls the administrative system, it gives undue benefits to the members of its own community at the cost of other communities. Such hostility decreases the objectivity, integrity, and effectiveness of the administrative system. Clear? Any doubts with the three things so far? Bureaucratic polity, bazaar canteen model, cliques. Three things. There's a proclaimed acceptance and respect for Western, rational, equalitarian, democratic values, but in actual behavior, traditional values favoring birth, caste, and relationships dominate. While in the Sala, public officials claim to follow rational, legal, and achievement-oriented practices, however, in actual behavior, they give undue benefits to people on the basis of their social standing and influence. Likewise, public officials apply different sets of values or norms of conduct for different groups or clients. This is called normlessness. अब इसका मतलब polynormativism or normlessness. Poly means many. So, many norms you keep based on which caste you're favoring, which religion you're favoring. You will keep a particular value for them. You will favor them. You will show partiality towards them. Baki ke, you will not show much interest. So the norms vary, the values vary according to the racial, ethnic or cultural identity. And they give undue benefits to people on the basis of their social standing. That is the idea. Social standing kya hai? Samaj mein. Based on that, more benefits are given or less benefits are given. Clear? Finally, nepotism. Nepotism and favoritism rule the governance system. Public officials in the Sala are guided in their decisions and actions by considerations of family, loyalty, kinship, and friendship. Lip service is paid to the norms of universalism and impartiality, while in the system of recruitment and in the distribution of services, discrimination is found rampant. मतलब universalism, merit, achievement, ये सारा चीज सिर्फ नाम के वास्ते है. Actually, if you look into the whole administrative system, officials are appointed on the basis of what? Favoritism and nepotism. यानी कि what is the political leaders के भांजा, भतीजा, nephew, niece, whatever, all of them. These are the 5 features that comes under, or 5 dimensions that comes under overlapping. कुछ सही है, कुछ थोड़ा ज्यादा exaggerated. Now we can all agree on one thing. State services में आज भी nepotism है. Be it the state government of Kerala से लेकर कश्मीर तक जाओ या गुजरात से लेकर नॉर्थ ईस्ट तक जाओ, you will find it. Politicians appointing their kin, their relation, their relatives in all the top important positions. Getting the point? You will not find it anywhere else. Clear? State service में है. Central service or UPSC के अंदर क्या ये सब होगा? No. That is stretching it a little bit further. Alright. According to the prismatic Sala model, there is dominance of non-formal structures and patterns of behavior in society and the administrative system, which are not in conformance with the goals of development, rationality, objectivity, and justice. Non-formal structures that are, for example, if you talk about the Kisan Morcha groups in our country, it's a very strong group. You cannot mess with it. Similarly, caste जो है वो भी एक informal structure, वो भी जाकर हम हाथ नहीं लगा सकते. So the Supreme Court of India also came to the extent of telling, why not bring income criteria for the SC community? यानी कि income criteria अभी OBC में है. OBC में भी है, economically weaker sections के लिए. That is, if your family's income is more than 8 lakhs, you are not, okay, let me put it first from the beginning first. You are not part of OBC, you are not part of SC, you are not part of ST. You belong to the general category. But if your parents' income is below 8 lakhs, you are eligible for what? Economically weaker section reservation. Alright, criteria क्या है? Income 8 लाख से नीचे होना चाहिए. ओबीसी, आपके कम्युनिटी ओबीसी में आते हैं, लेकिन वहां पर भी रिजर्वेशन मिलने के लिए व्हाट इज द बेंचमार्क देयर? 8 लाख से कम. योर इनकम शुड बी 8 लाख से लेस. ओनली देन यू बिलोंग टू द नॉन क्रीमी लेयर ऑफ ओबीसी, नॉट टू द If your income is more than, let us say, just in case it is more than 8 lakhs, you belong to OBC, but income is more than 8 lakhs, you are not eligible for the reservation. You will be treated as a general category student. This is there for EWS 8 lakh, OBC 8 lakh. SC and ST does not have that income criteria at all. So Supreme Court basically gave a guideline telling that why not bring it? Income criteria SC के लिए भी लाते हैं ताकि within the SC scheduled castes, the most backward caste, income wise also, let them get the privilege of the reservation. अब स्टेट्स थोड़ा जैसे ही सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने ये कहा, स्टेट्स आर लाइक सोच रहे हैं क्या करना है, बिकॉज ऑल सेट एंड डन SC community, when we talk about in each state, they are pretty strong voting bank. अगर उनसे जाकर आप कह रहे हैं कि कल से आपको रिजर्वेशन नहीं मिलेगा, आपके इनकम सब 8 लाख से ज्यादा है, तो आपको जनरल कैटेगरी में ट्रीट किया जाएगा, जाहिर है वोट नहीं मिलने वाला. So nobody would want to take a, what is it? Take that bitter pill of bringing in the economic criteria within the SC community. लेकिन that is the way forward. आप चाहे जो भी community में हो, आप backward, socially you are part of backward community. But if you are having a very high income is there, then ideally what reservation is meant for you, let it go to somebody else who is really deserving. That is the point. But no government again want to play with that by caste system. They are a very strong informal structure in our country. RIGGS prismatic Sala model is only an ideal type. Construct and may not portray the reality of the social or administrative systems of developing countries. ये भी सही है, यानी कि पूरा का पूरा नेपोटिज्म है, पूरा का पूरा ब्यूरोक्रेटिक कंट्रोल है हमारे पॉलिटिक सिस्टम में, कहना वो थोड़ा ज्यादा है, exaggeration. I already told you, just for telling one simple word like तुम लोगों का औकात क्या है. One IAS officer said this. Next, within 24 hours he was transferred. That is the reality today. It is no more that okay bureaucracy में बन गया, मैं कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ, वो जमाना गया. Getting the point here. Today, the role of a bureaucrat has reduced to such a level where you are more of a facilitator today. Facilitator for providing goods to the public, facilitator for providing services to the public. That's it. काम होते होते जा रहा है. It may be pointed out that all features of prismatic societies may not apply to all developing nations. There is no uniformity in the level of prismatism. ये भी सही है, कोई यूनिफॉर्मिटी नहीं है इस मामले में कि prismatism कितना what you see as prismatism in Bangladesh or the prismatism in India all are the same. No, सबका अलग अलग है. Some are more prismatic while others may be less prismatic. There is no society that is totally prismatic. In fact, even developed nations like the USA, Great Britain and Russia contain a few prismatic traits in their social, political, economic and administrative system. Very, very true. अगर आप देखोगे तो the former US president, Mr. Biden, signed a pardoning order. For whom? For his son. For what he was arrested, what cases were there on him? One was a drug charge. The other was a firearms charge. That is, Joe Biden's son was actually arrested for two offenses. One was basically with the possession of narcotics. The other one was having an illegal weapon. Now, both of these are, if he really would have got convicted, he would have easily spent 15 to 20 years in jail. आराम से. लेकिन जाने से पहले what did Joe Biden do? He signed a pardoning order. पहले बोल रहे थे, पहले वो कह रहे थे नहीं, कानून जो करना है कानून के हिसाब से, let the law take its own course. Bade dialogue and all he gave. But just before his tenure term was about to end, he signed the pardoning order. The president can do that. Once the president signs a pardoning order, that is, if I am a US citizen and the US president signs. Whatever cases are there on Mr. Nikhil Ramke on so and so date, blah 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 blah, has been pardoned. Over. Case wahi ka wahi khatam. Nobody can challenge it. Now, if this is not favoritism, then what it is? This is classic nepotism. This is not universalism. This is not, you're giving same treatment for the president's son just like any other US citizen. Normally, koi or US citizen hota, that person's pura horoscope, the cops would have taken and gone. They would have even told he's not supposed to come in this area, that area. So many restrictions would have been in place. But no, एक ही signature से पूरा जज्बात बदल दिया, हालात बदल दिया, सब कुछ बदल दिया. Is this diffracted society? Absolutely not. So prismatic features if you see, or fused features if you see, you can see it everywhere. That means ideally, even though ideally what you see is fusion, prism, practical level पर fused, prismatic, diffracted. ये तीनों आपको प्रैक्टिकल लेवल पर हर जगह देखने के लिए मिलेंगे. मिलकर, दो मिलकर या तीन मिलकर. Getting the point? Moving on. Evaluation. RIGGS prismatic Scala model is a leading model that reflects the socio-administrative realities in developing countries. It has led to several studies of specific nations like India, the Philippines, and Japan. However, there are a few points that need consideration in this respect. In real life, there are many diffracted traits found in a prismatic society. So, if you consider India to be a prismatic society, we find what we have specific bodies. We do value merit. Correct? There is rule of law. Sweeping generalizations of the model sometimes takes it away from objectivity. It underestimates the positive developmental role of bureaucracies in developing countries. Matlab, to blame that bureaucratic polity is bad, bureaucratic polity सारा power अपने पास रखेंगे, इनके पास ना कोई norm होगा, ना values होगा, ये लोग बड़े what is the greedy लोग हैं. That's too much of a generalization to make. Bureaucracy का what is it इतना बुरा criticism the Prime Minister as well as the Union Minister Nitin Gadkari has given back to back. But nobody will ever deny that if it weren't for the bureaucrats of our country, during COVID-19, this country would have literally went into, what is it, a collapse. It was only because the bureaucracy functioned properly, things went smooth. It does not explain the way the Scala affects the rest of the prismatic society. It has not clarified how the Scala can facilitate the process of development. So, he has only said Scala affects the rest of prismatic society. Now, Scala means it is the administrative system in a prismatic society. जैसे कि कोर्ट है फ्यूज सोसाइटी में, ब्यूरो है डिफ्रैक्टेड सोसाइटी में, in a prismatic society we call the administrative system Scala. So how will Scala affect rest of the society? We don't know. And how can Scala facilitate the process of development? That is also not given. In the model, there is greater stress on the environment of an administrative system than on the administrative system itself. यानी कि he is only talking about आसपास क्या हो जाए, बाजार कैंटीन मॉडल, ओवरलैपिंग, अटेनमेंट, है ना? Political system कैसा होगा, economic system कैसे होगा, administrative system कैसे होगा, that is all he has said. How will the administration actually work? How are they going to carry out each process of development? इनके बारे में नहीं, he just told some features. Bureaucracy ऐसे होंगे, economic system ऐसे होंगे, social system ऐसे होंगे, polynormativism होंगे, nepotism honge, that's it. He has just made few observations, but he has not clearly given a description of how the system will run. E.H. Wilson has observed that formalism may have its positive side when the public officials go out of the way to help the needy citizens, sometimes flexing the rules. Compassion becomes difficult to be practiced in a watertight rule structure. So, formalism का भी एक पॉजिटिव साइड है. वो क्या? फॉर्मेलिज्म क्या कहते हैं कि सब कुछ एक फॉर्मेलिटी जैसा है, रूल्स कानून एक फॉर्मेलिटी है. इफ यू नो द राइट मैन, अंबानी के लिए आ, आम आदमी के लिए ए. नो. Sometimes what the officials will do is they will go beyond what rules ऐसे हैं, इसका कोई लूप होल है क्या, ताकि आम आदमी को उसका हक मिल जाए. They do that. Armstrong Palm constructing a 100-kilometer road in Manipur without any government help. Classic example. Getting the point here. तो फॉर्मेलिज्म का भी अपना एक पॉजिटिव साइड है. या having multiple norms. Multiple norms simply means what? Okay, somebody is there very weak, etc. You are like, okay, इसका भी क्या कर सकते हैं? We cannot directly break the law. Let us see what other loophole is there. That is polynormativism. RIGGSian concepts are not operational in nature. It becomes difficult to translate its numerous qualitative concepts into quantified categories. मतलब किस हद तक it is used. To what extent is it prismatic? To what extent is it diffracted? No way to know. There is no way to know. Getting the point here. Any doubts so far? Any doubts? Anything you want to be repeated? All right. Just some additional content. Almost the same thing it will be, don't worry. In his influential 1962 article, Trends in the Comparative Study of Public Administration, Fred W. Riggs identified 3 key trends in the field that continue to be relevant today. A shift from normative to empirical studies, a transition from ideographic to nomothetic studies, a move from non-ecological to ecological studies. Riggs noted that all 6 types of studies will coexist in comparative public administration, reflecting the discipline's diverse nature. A brief discussion of these characteristics are normative approach. So, what is the first trend? Normative is empirical. So, we will see that normative क्या? Normative I have always told you norm, values. वैल्यू सिस्टम से एम्पेरिकल का मतलब है जो आप मेजर कर सकते हैं, क्वांटिफाई कर सकते हैं, आंकड़ा डाल सकते हैं. नॉर्म के लिए आप ये कर नहीं सकते, क्योंकि नॉर्म ऑनेस्टी, कितना प्रतिशत ऑनेस्टी है, यू कैन नॉट पुट अ वैल्यू टू इट. गेटिंग द पॉइंट. बट इफ आई से ओके, a person has been arrested 5 times in his 10 years of his career. He has been arrested 5 times on allegations of corruption. That is empirical. Based on that data, I can conclude that he is not an honest officer. एक बार गलत, एक बार maybe it would have been a wrong arrest. 5 times you cannot say all the 5 were wrong or all the 5 were fake. Getting the point here. So normative, traditional public administration emphasized efficiency and economy as key to administrative performance, relying on prescriptive principles such as hierarchy, unity of command, and specialization. Traditional public administration क्या है? हमारा क्लासिकल पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, वुडरो विल्सन, एफ.डब्ल्यू. टेलर, हेनरी फयोर्ड, गुलिक एंड एल्विक, मैक्स वेबर. The focus was universal principles in traditional public administration rather than exploring the cultural and social values of a region to understand its political process. That is the normative approach. क्योंकि क्लासिकल थियरी में बस ये कह रहा था कि भाई हमारा प्रिंसिपल्स है पोस्ट कॉर पीओ ट्रिपल सी मैक्स वेबर्स आइडियल मॉडल या फिर एफ.डब्ल्यू. टेलर का वन बेस्ट मेथड. ये आप जो भी देश, कोई भी घर, मकान, बिजनेस कहीं पर भी चाहे आप डाल दो, आपको एफिशिएंसी मिलेगा, इकोनॉमी मिलेगा. दैट वाज ट्रेडिशनल अप्रोच. एंड दे डिड नॉट एक्सप्लोर व्हाट वैल्यूज के बारे में नहीं जो सोचा उस वक्त. कल्चरल और सोशल वैल्यूज के बारे में भी हमें सोचना पड़ेगा ये प्रिंसिपल्स लगाने से पहले. दैट नोबडी थॉट. Contemporary studies in comparative public administration still reflect this normative orientation as seen in ongoing administrative reforms. मतलब क्या है? कोई भी चीज इंप्लीमेंट करने से पहले वी आर डेफिनेटली कंसिडरिंग द नॉर्मेटिव वैल्यूज. कंपैरेटिव पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन करने से पहले हम ये सोचे वहां का कल्चर क्या है, हमारा कल्चर क्या है, वहां का सोशल वैल्यूज क्या है, हमारा सोशल वैल्यूज क्या है. दैट वी आर थिंकिंग. देखो काबुल में रियल एस्टेट बिजनेस इज बूमिंग. काबुल इन अफगानिस्तान. भाई तालिबान टोल्ड नो मोर करप्शन. तो नो मोर करप्शन, क्लैरिटी. यूरोप में, यूएस में बैठे हुए अफगान सिटीजन्स are spending money to buy big nice properties in Kabul. Real estate is growing because of that. Why can't we implement it here in India? Municipal body, urban governance, state government, central government, इतने सारे चीज जुड़े हुए. You cannot simply bring in an iron law here just like that. क्योंकि सबके साथ मिलकर ही आपको काम करना पड़ेगा. In the non-Western world, there is significant emphasis on enhancing capacity to achieve socio-economic goals, making administrative development and development administration critical concepts in the literature. तो non-Western world में ये दोनों चीज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव डेवलपमेंट यानी कि एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का भी प्रोसेस आप डेवलप करो और डेवलपमेंट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन पर ध्यान दे. स्पेसिफिकली वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड में इसका जरूरत नहीं है. वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड में पीपल आर ऑलरेडी एजुकेटेड. दे वांट लेस इंटरफेरेंस फ्रॉम द गवर्नमेंट. वहां पर ये काम चलेगा क्योंकि वहां का कल्चर वो है, वहां का सोशल वैल्यू. दे प्रेफर बिजनेस. हमारे देश में ही आई डोंट नो हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू वॉच दैट प्रोग्राम शार्क टैंक, नॉट व्हाट इज रन इन इंडिया, व्हाट इज रन अब्रॉड. शार्क टैंक में जितने लोग आते हैं, अगर आप देखोगे उनकी उम्र क्या है, 30 या 40 से ज्यादा वो लोग 35 साल से कम होगा उम्र में. गुड नंबर ऑफ द मेजॉरिटी ऑफ देम कम व्हेन दे आर जस्ट 16, 18, 19, 25 इयर्स ओल्ड. क्योंकि वहां का कल्चर क्या है, सीईओ अपना धंधा करो, खुद का कंपनी खोलो, खुद का स्टार्टअप खोलो, कोई प्रोडक्ट करो, make something, create something. That is the culture. That is the reason why when you see USA normally, almost everybody will be traveling in a Porsche, Ferrari. You will be like, यार इतना पैसे कहाँ से आते हैं लोगों के पास? They are not thinking about sitting and cracking government नौकरी चाहिए, government नौकरी. They are thinking about how can I make money. That is the difference. We prefer stability. They prefer richness. दोनों मेंटालिटी का फर्क है, कल्चर का फर्क है. गेटिंग द पॉइंट हियर. तो यहां पर क्या है, तो वहां पर अगर आप कहते हैं गवर्नमेंट यूएस गवर्नमेंट कल कह रहे हैं आई एम गोइंग टू गिव एवरीथिंग फॉर फ्री, यू कैन ट्रैवल इन द बस फॉर फ्री, द पीपल विल बी लाइक You're mad or what? People will ask that question. Getting the point here? Not in our country. In our country, no job is there, no what is it, infrastructural development is there, nothing is there. People are still okay. मुझे क्या मिलेगा? मुफ्त में मुझे क्या मिलेगा? We have freebie here. We have minimum support price here. We have government subsidies being provided. US based subsidy provision है. Not telling it is not there, but that subsidy is provided if you're starting a business. If you're starting a business, government will provide you direct. That is okay. I want to set up a solar farm. Government will be like, बेटा कितना है जरा खर्च, उसका 70% I will give it to you. तू बस 30% डाल. Simple. This is the way. Clear? Now, empirical approach. Contemporary studies in comparative public administration increasingly rely on empirical data collected through observation, experimentation, and field surveys at various levels: national, state, regional, district, and local. These studies examine the behavior of administrative systems and their responses to developments in sectors such as agriculture, industry, education, health, and gender justice, among others. They are sponsored by international organizations, foundations, universities, and NGOs. This trend is prevalent globally, including in India. तो सीपीए का शुरुआत कहां से हुआ था कि भैया हम नॉर्म्स क्या है एक देश का, एक रीजन का, वहां का नॉर्म्स क्या है ये देख लेंगे. वहां से शुरू किया, लेकिन नॉर्म्स से अब कहां पहुंचा है. नाउ दे वांट मोर ऑफ एम्पिरिकल डेटा. तो पहले चाइना में, especially the southeast part of China, air quality was very poor. Air quality was very poor when I say you must understand 3 बजे के बाद बच्चों को बाहर जाना मना था. रात के 3 बजे नहीं, सुबह के 3 बजे नहीं, दोपहर का 3 बजे. They all told the children, keep the children inside. Schools were only kept till 2 p.m. This was a reality. Or many public areas में they had these tall towers. Tall towers were kept, जिससे एयर का फिल्टरिंग हो रहा. क्लियर? तो अगर इसका तुलना अगर करना है अकॉर्डिंग टू नॉर्म्स, फर्स्ट नॉर्मेटिव स्टडीज क्या कहेंगे कि वहां का कल्चर क्या है, हमारा कल्चर क्या है, वहां का सोशल सिस्टम, हमारा सोशल सिस्टम. That is, let us compare Delhi and China. China's polluted cities, Delhi, we will compare. So the first part of comparative administration focused on what? Norms पर ध्यान दे देंगे. दोनों का कल्चर अलग है, दोनों का सोशल सिस्टम भी अलग है. वहां पर बात खत्म. Not anymore. अब वहां से हम आगे निकल चुके हैं. And we have come to empirical studies. So today when we have to compare, we have to find out the reasons why this is happening. Why Delhi is still polluted, whereas the polluted cities of China, उनका air quality improve हो चुका है. Chinese air quality is improved. कैसे? Main reason, first of all, yes, they quantified all the data. They quantified all the data. Who? China. चाइना ने क्या किया, पूरा डेटा क्वांटिफाई कर दिया एंड दे स्टार्टेड फाइंडिंग आउट माइक्रो रीजन्स वेयर पोल्यूशन वाज हाई. स्पेसिफिकली उसका वजह क्या है, यहां पर अभी एयर क्वालिटी बिगड़ने का वजह क्या है, दे आर रेक्टिफाइड. तो जैसे ही पीपल वर टेलिंग, देखो चाइना और दिल्ली, these are examples of cities which have बिगड़ कर गया है. चाइना ने अपना हालात इंप्रूव कर दिया, दिल्ली वही का वही रह गया. Getting the point here? Why today empirical data we are having. कल्चर वैल्यू समझना जरूरी है. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कल्चरल वैल्यू की जरूरत नहीं है, नो. बट इफ आई रियली वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट वर्कड इन चाइना, व्हाट डिडंट वर्क इन इंडिया, I need data for it. Empirical research. तो वहां पर एज यूजुअल इट इज अ सिंगल गवर्नमेंट, दे टुक द डिसीजन, प्लांट ट्रीज, पोल्यूटिंग इंडस्ट्रीज बंद करवा दो, या फिर अगर हम उन्हें थोड़ा सब्सिडी लेकर कैन वी इंप्रूव द सिस्टम्स सो दैट दे विल पोल्यूट द एनवायरमेंट लेस, ऐसे ऐसे करके दे टू करेक्टिव मेजर्स, बात खत्म। Whereas दिल्ली में क्या हो रहा है, लिटरली ड्यूअल एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, सेंटर ब्लेम कर रहा है वहां के इलेक्टेड गवर्नमेंट को, इलेक्टेड गवर्नमेंट वहां का ब्लेम कर रहा है सेंटर को, बीच में फंसे हुए हैं द पीपल। gas chamber, that is what just been called gas chamber. Anybody who is in Delhi, they are actually smokers. यानी कि अगर आप स्मोक नहीं करते हो, दिल्ली गए, एक दिन बिता दिया अपने वहां पर दिल्ली में, 12 सिगरेट स्मोक करने के बराबर। एक दिन दिल्ली में बिताने का मतलब है 10 से लेकर 12 सिगरेट आपने ले लिया। दैट इज द मीनिंग। Getting the picture, people? And these studies are going to be conducted by who? Universities, NGOs, etc. So the fact and figure is there. Based on that, we can compare today. कि यहां पर क्या काम किया, यहां पर काम क्यों नहीं किया। Clear? Ideographic studies. Ideographic studies focus on a single nation, society, institution, or sector. Notable examples include Frederick's Thailand, modernization of the bureaucratic polity 1966, Michael Crossier's The Bureaucratic Phenomenon, and Mauro Berger's Bureaucracy and Society in Modern Egypt. These empirical studies facilitate comparative analysis and contribute to theory building. In developing nations, numerous studies on specific institutions or programs have enriched the understanding of administrative realities in cross-institutional and cross-national contexts. अब ideographic studies क्या? Ideographic का मतलब है you are focusing on only one nation, one society, one country, या फिर one particular institution, one particular region, वहां पर आप studies conduct कर रहे हैं। ये देखने के लिए वहां पर क्या काम करेगा, वहां पर क्या नहीं काम करेगा। That is, we are focusing on the micro unit. That is what it simply means. तो पहले कंपैरेटिव पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का भी ऐसे ही था। पहले एक जगह पर फोकस करेंगे, एक देश के ऊपर फोकस करेंगे, एक सेक्शन के ऊपर फोकस करेंगे, वहां से आगे आ चुके हैं टू नोमोथेटिक स्टडीज। Fredericks defines nomothetic studies as those that generate generalizations based on empirical research, aiding in theory building and giving a scientific character to comparative public administration. Ideographic studies क्या है? I am studying only about India. I am studying only about Thailand. I am studying only about Myanmar. I am studying only about Sri Lanka. पूरा तो 4-5 देश हुआ। इन जो भी पढ़ाई मैंने वहां पर की, रिसर्च मैंने किया, डेटा है मेरे पास, एम्पिरिकल डेटा, उस डेटा के हिसाब से आई एम मेकिंग अ जनरल थियरी अबाउट द टाइप ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इन साउथ एशियन नेशंस। गेटिंग द पॉइंट हियर? तो साउथ एशियन नेशन में पूरा, तो पहले मैंने क्या किया, हर एक देश का कल्चर क्या है, वैल्यूज क्या है, ऐसे ऐसे मैंने पढ़ा। जैसे मेरे पास 5-6 देश की पढ़ाई या उनकी रिपोर्ट, इज द वॉइस क्लियर फॉर एवरीवन? इज देयर एनी echo? Others please confirm. Is the audio and video, is audio clear? All right. So, nomothetic studies when we say 5-6 देशों का कल्चरल वैल्यू, सोशल वैल्यू या वहां का एम्पिरिकल स्टडीज जो भी है वो सब पढ़ने के बाद उस पढ़ाई के ऊपर हम एक पूरा थियरी बना रहे हैं, जनरलाइजेशन. While ideographic studies focus on specific cases, they can also generate hypotheses that lead to generalization. Yes, sir, your voice is little bit echo. What about now? Is it clear now? Okay. Works by RIGGS, Berger and Crozier, although ideographic, also possess nomothetic qualities due to their heuristic value for further research. Ultimately, both approaches are mutually complementary. Matlab, what did I tell you? Ideographic studies means you're focusing on a region, चाहे वो स्टेट हो, सोसाइटी हो, नेशन हो, व्हाटएवर, ठीक है. लेकिन ideographic studies in region 2, ideographic studies in region 3, अलग अलग स्टडीज. अब फायदा क्या है इस अलग अलग स्टडीज से? क्या मुझे क्या मिल रहा है? आई एम एबल टू बिल्ड अ जनरल थियरी which is nomothetic. General theory built on the basis of ideographic studies. मतलब आप जितना भी ideographic studies कर लो, nomothetic का काम में आएगा. nomothetic जो भी जनरल थियरी मैंने बनाया है उससे क्या फायदा है? उसका फायदा यह है कि दूसरे एक जगह में जहां पर मैंने कोई स्टडीज अब तक नहीं किया है, वहां का एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन किस तरह का होगा मुझे उसका एक अंदाजा होगा. I will have some idea about it. So let us say ideographic studies have been conducted in Pak, Bangladesh, and Myanmar. Based on these ideographic studies that I conducted here, I can almost predict Afghanistan mein what will be the type of administration there. Why? Because from these three, I made a theory. Based on this theory, I can guess what will be the situation here. That means ideographic theory will complement nomothetic studies. Nomothetic studies will also support ideographic studies. Clear? Any doubts? Non-ecological studies. This is very simple. This is what we have been dealing with so far. Many traditional studies of comparative governments primarily focused on legal, formal, and functional aspects of governance, often neglecting the influence of the environment on administrative systems, and vice versa. Most research on administrative law, personal administration, financial administration remains non-ecological even today. However, this limitation does not diminish the significance and contributions of these studies. यानी कि इकोलॉजिकल स्टडी जब भी हम एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के बारे में करने के लिए भी जाते हैं, हम फोकस करते हैं किस चीज पर? कानून, फॉर्मल स्ट्रक्चर कैसे बने हुए हैं एंड उनका फंक्शंस क्या है. Our focus is not on what? The larger environment. क्योंकि environment, when I say what and all is there? Psychology of the masses, economic system, social system, political system. Getting the point? Then, what is the type of environment there? What are the type of resources available to the country? What type of constitution do they have? How many political parties are involved there? Everything matters. है ना? Most research on administrative law, personal administration, financial administration remains non-ecological even today. यानी कि जब भी हम कानून के भी बात करते हैं, देखो यूएस में गोली मारकर मार दिया, देखो हम क्यों नहीं ये कर सकते? क्योंकि यूएस का कानून अलग है भैया. वहां पर इन द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, द सेकेंड अमेंडमेंट ऑफ द यूएस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन allows the US citizen to possess firearm. That is why cops are also carrying guns with them. एक छोटा what is the world war mini version करने के लिए the police department in USA is equipped. Other than a missile launcher, bazooka and etc., every other weapon you talk about, automatic weapons, they have it. That is not the case in India. India, we don't have in our constitution, which is where it says that it is the fundamental right for a citizen to own weapon. No, it is not at all a fundamental right. You need a court order, first of all, to say that there is a threat to my life. Then submit an application for gun license, which should be signed by the DC, district collector. Or if you're staying in a city, commissioner should sign it. Only then you can get a license. उस लाइसेंस मिलने के बाद there are many conditions again. आप ये बंदूक कब ले सकते हैं, कहां ले सकते हैं, कौन से सिचुएशन पर, many conditions are there. So the law itself is different. तो अगर आप means the point is, अब तक जो भी पढ़ाई थे एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के बारे में, वो सब फॉर्मल चीजों से जुड़े हुए थे. कानून क्या है, स्ट्रक्चर क्या है, फंक्शन क्या है, बस. Beyond that, they never try to go ahead. आगे, the ecological approach is essential for understanding comparative public administration, with the Fred W. RIGGS playing a pivotal role in highlighting the dynamic relationship between administrative systems and their environment. Many comparative studies, whether ideographic or nomothetic, are now ecologically oriented. This shift from non-ecological to ecological analysis marks a significant trend in the field. Overall, the nature of comparative study is currently transformational and coexistential. Means what? Current trend is what? Current trend is, it is still evolving. Comparative administration is still evolving, and today I will tell you, technology has made it possible to make quick comparisons, see that something is plausible or not. Plausible means, can we make it happen? Something similar to possibility only. Can we make it possible or not? If it is, let us take it up. Europe has embraced technology much before India. इंटरनेट बोलो, कुछ भी बोलो, यूरोप के पास है. लेकिन फ्रेंच प्रेसिडेंट और फ्रेंच एम्बेसडर एक्सेट्रा इंडिया में आने के बाद क्यूआर कोड देखकर, यार ये क्या है, ये व्हाट टेक्नोलॉजी इज दिस, दे आर सरप्राइज. यार लाइक ये मामूली बात है, क्यूआर स्कैन करो, पे करो, चलते जाओ. टुडे लुकिंग एट दैट, फ्रांस इज adopting India's UPI in France payment system, and who is helping them? India. That is why we are telling it is transformational और coexistence भी. सबके साथ आप मिलजुल कर जी रहे हैं और साथ में बदलाव भी आप एम्ब्रेस कर रहे हैं, एकदम like that. Because technology has made it possible today कि क्या काम कर सकते हैं, क्या नहीं, क्या पॉसिबल है, क्या नहीं. वहां पर क्या हो रहा है, वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड में क्या हो रहा है, एशियन वर्ल्ड में क्या हो रहा है, अफ्रीका में क्या हो रहा है, all these are instantaneous. So a new idea is there. Oh, it is working out there in that country. Why not try it in this country? That is how fast it is happening. पहले जमाने में ऐसा नहीं था. आइडिया आने के बाद हमें पढ़ाई करना है. Will people accept it or not? Conduct an ideographic study. Then let us make a generalization. आज उतना जरूरी नहीं है. एकदम झटके से आप जो भी बदलाव चाहते हैं वो ला सकते हैं. DNA as a system was employed in USA 1990s के शुरुआत से. They started using DNA extensively for all criminal investigations. So they were able to solve a lot of cases. Europe also embraced it early 2000 में. India, we are adopting it today. We are literally adopting it today. I'm telling you, and US and Europe वहां से अभी कहां आ गया है. So US में, like I told you, late 80s, early 90s. Europe, early 2000. We are going to adopt it now, using DNA to solve crime. In USA and Europe, where has it reached? It has reached to what level means? Let us say my grandfather or great grandfather committed some crime back in the 60s, 50s. Nobody knows who has done it and all. It was an unsolved case. लेकिन इस केस में DNA था. What they believe is the killer's blood or something sample is there with them. They'll take that sample. They'll constantly, what they'll do is every year once they will run it with the known DNA samples in the system. Whatever. तो मैंने हॉस्पिटल में कोविड के दौरान मैंने इंजेक्शन कुछ लगाने के लिए गया. द हॉस्पिटल टुक माई DNA. कॉप्स सिस्टम ने ऑटोमेटिकली कंपेयर कर बोल दिया देयर इज अ 70% चांस दैट आई हैव कमिटेड द क्राइम इन द 50s. तो कॉप्स को मालूम है 50s में इसका ये पैदा ही नहीं था. मतलब क्या? मतलब somebody related to me committed the crime. They'll check the list. Okay, this fellow's great grandfather, he committed the crime. Using family DNA. Getting the point here. It is there even in Europe also. That is, family DNA is used today. Anybody, that is, if you are remotely related also, it will show. There's a 40-50% chance that somebody related to this person's family has committed the crime. Automatically, what happens? Your list of suspects narrows down. Getting the point here? We have only taken the DNA now. Few more years, we will also implement it. Trust me. Clear, people? Any doubts so far? Any doubts? Normative to empirical studies, ideographic to nomothetic studies, non-ecological to ecological studies. That is where we are standing today. All right then. Let's take a break. It's 12:33. We'll get back at 12:45. All right, people. Ferrell Heady identifies three stages of development in comparative administration. Descriptive stage. In this initial phase, scholars primarily focused on detailing the structures and functions of various administrative systems. The emphasis was on compiling data and descriptions without in-depth analysis, often limited to legal and formal aspects of governance. This was the initial stage, only focusing on what? The law and functions. Analytical stage. The second stage involves a more critical examination of the data collected. Researchers began to analyze the relationship between different administrative systems and their environments. This stage fostered the development of theories and frameworks to understand the dynamics of public administration. यह descriptive stage जो है, this is nothing but our, if you actually see, this is our traditional public administration का एक, I wouldn't say it's exactly TPA, but it is more or less like that, क्योंकि यहां पर सब descriptive phase था. ये follow करो, हो जाए. ये कानून अडॉप्ट करो, हो जाएगा. ये फॉर्म ऐसा काम करो, हो जाएगा. That was the larger thing. Analytical stage पर अकल आ गया. अरे ऐसा नहीं होगा. एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव सिस्टम अगर पढ़ने के लिए निकल रहे हो तो उसके आजू बाजू की चीज पर भी हमें ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा. इन डेप्थ स्टडी. फाइनली, prescriptive stage. In the final stage, the focus shifts to developing recommendations for improving administrative practice. And this is the current phase now. हम अभी यहां पर है. आधार भी अगर आप ले लोगे तो what is, from where did we get the idea? यूएस में you have what is known as social security number, है ना? social security number is there. उसका एक दूसरा वर्जन है आधार. दूसरा वर्जन क्यों? क्योंकि blindly we did not take social security number and applied it over here. What did we do? वहां से एक नंबर, social security number means a number given to a US citizen. Same thing, a number is given to Indian citizen. ठीक है. आगे हमने क्या किया? बायोमेट्रिक्स, रेटिना, ये दोनों डाल दिया. क्यों? ताकि आप इसका डुप्लीकेट बना नहीं पाए. We created additional security measures. उसके आगे भी हम निकल गए. कैसे? आधार को हमने पैन से भी अभी जोड़ रहा है, मोबाइल नंबर से भी जोड़ रहा है, बैंक अकाउंट से भी जोड़ रहा है. You may be able to fake one data, you cannot fake all the 4 data. Simple logic. तो हम उसमें changes ला रहे हैं. That is a prescriptive phase, because you are developing recommendations for improving administrative practices. Scholars leverage insights gained from the first 2 stages to propose solutions and strategies for enhancing efficiency, effectiveness and responsiveness in public administration. इसका मतलब यह है, डिस्क्रिप्टिव स्टेज और एनालिटिकल स्टेज गलत था नहीं. हमें जो भी जानकारी मिल गया वहां से कि क्या काम कर रहा है, क्यों नहीं कर रहा है, जो भी जानकारी मिल गया वो जानकारी हमने ले लिया. उसमें आगे क्या करना है ताकि ये और बेहतरीन बन जाए, दैट इज व्हाट वी आर डूइंग हियर. क्लियर पीपल? आगे स्कोप ऑफ सीपीए स्टडीज. इंट्राकल्चरल, कंपेयरिंग विद इन कल्चर्स. क्रॉस कल्चरल, बिटवीन कल्चर्स. इंट्रानेशनल, विद इन अ कंट्री. क्रॉस नेशनल, बिटवीन कंट्रीज. क्रॉस टेम्पोरल, बिटवीन 2 टाइम पीरियड. क्रॉस इंस्टीट्यूशनल, कंपैरिजन बिटवीन इंस्टीट्यूशंस. मतलब कहीं पर भी आप डाल सकते हैं. आई कैन कंपेयर द कल्चर्स between, comparing within the cultures I can do, within the culture, that is intra, within a particular culture, why something is working, why something is not. Education अगर एक पैरामीटर ले लोगे तो I can see that SC, ST, मुस्लिम माइनॉरिटी, इन सबका वैल्यूज जो है एक ऑलमोस्ट बराबर है, मतलब इट्स वेरी पुअर. Educational outcome, when you look at SC, ST and the Muslim minority community, religious minority, they are very poor. Specifically, if I start focusing on why it is happening, one common element in all these are after primary stage of schooling, secondary or higher stage, they are not going into. Primary से ही बंद हो रहा है. Clear? क्रॉस कल्चरल, बिटवीन कल्चर्स, दो कल्चर्स के बीच. सो वाई इज इट दैट वी आर एबल टू स्टॉप रायट हियर इन इंडिया? एनी पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया अ रायट टेक्स प्लेस, I can stop it in no time. If I am an SP, or let us say Suganya is the SP there, all she has to do is come out with her gun. बस हाथ में पकड़ना चाहिए, गोली चलाने की भी जरूरत नहीं है, भाग जाएंगे. Except in Northeast. Northeast में that will not work. You take your gun and try to go like a hero, like you pull this and all and you go in front of them. They will also come out. They'll smoke their cigar, everything out. That is, I think, other day also I was watching this documentary, podcast of an officer. He was basically telling when they went to, that is, yes, fought in Jammu and Kashmir and all. तो वहां से आतंकवादियों से लड़ने का मतलब है 5 या 6 आतंकवादी ज्यादा से ज्यादा मारेंगे, that's it. They surrounded an area and they saw and they started firing 2-3 shots. कुछ लोग मर भी गए. I think this happened in somewhere in Northeast. Let's not name the state. The others who were there, that is the other terrorists who were there, they just looked, okay, मर गया. कौन? Oh, Indian Army. They continued brushing their teeth. सुबह अटैक हो रहा है, इंडियन आर्मी अटैक कर रहा है, दे आर ब्रशिंग देयर टीथ. सब कुछ मुंह सब धो के टवल रख लिया, बंदूक उठा दिया, एंड दे स्टार्टेड फायरिंग. कल्चर्स आर डिफरेंट. हमारे यहां जब हम बच्चे हैं, व्हाट डू वी प्ले? हाइड एंड सीक, 1 2 3 4 एंड ऑल दैट. नॉर्थ ईस्ट में व्हेन दे आर स्मॉल, दे टेक अ स्टोन, उड़ते हुए चिड़िया को पत्थर से मारकर दे विल किल इट. इट्स अ मार्शियल रेस. आई मीन फाइटिंग एंड किलिंग फॉर दम उनके लिए बाएं हाथ का खेल है, हमारे लिए नहीं. गेटिंग द पॉइंट? द कल्चर्स आर डिफरेंट. क्रॉस नेशनल, ऑब्वियसली बिटवीन countries, international, within the country, comparing between 2 states, क्रॉस टेम्पोरल टू टाइम पीरियड. 50 साल पहले इंडिया कैसे थे, 50 साल बाद इंडिया कैसा है. क्रॉस इंस्टीट्यूशनल, दो इंस्टीट्यूशन के बीच के कंपैरिजन. क्लियर पीपल? With that we come to an end of our topic here, which is comparative public administration. अगला टॉपिक जो है उसका नाम है डेवलपमेंट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. क्लियर? Just give an introduction. The idea of development administration as directly government-led effort to intervene in the process of socio-economic transformation was born after World War II. Development administration need not be equated with administrative development and growth. Development administration is public administration with a difference. Its focus is on government influenced change towards the attainment of progressive social, economic, and political objectives. Development administration is an action-oriented, goal-oriented administrative system as defined by Edward Wade. क्या है development administration? I've already told you this. Administrative development means, जैसे मैंने कहा, WhatsApp governance की, what is it? टाइम शुरू हो चुका है, शुरू भी हो जाएगा. That is administrative development. Making bureaucrats nodal officers. बिहार 1.8 लाख करोड़ के FDI आ गया, ब्यूरोक्रेसी को, यानी कि let us say अभिनव, साक्षी, अक्षत, you are all IAS officers. लेकिन आपको नोडल ऑफिसर बनाया गया है आपके डिस्ट्रिक्ट में. काम क्या है? वो इन्वेस्टमेंट को कन्वर्ट करने के लिए, कन्वर्जन का मतलब है मैं पैसा डालने के लिए तैयार हूं, लेकिन आई डोंट नो, आई एम ओनली अ बिजनेसमैन, आई डोंट नो अबाउट द रूल्स, प्रोसीजर्स एक्सेट्रा, नथिंग. Abhinav will set the things. Sir, in development dynamics unit, see, don't go by the textbook, or sorry, the syllabus wordings there. Getting the point? Because development dynamic, when you talk about, dynamic means whatever is changing. So actual meaning of the word is development changes. Don't go by that. And I will tell you where we are. Not tomorrow, we don't have a class. Monday, clearly, I will tell you how many chapters and what and all we have covered as per UPSC syllabus. Till then, you please wait. All right. Because in UPSC, they have segregated all of this out. But the reality is, CPA का continuation है development administration. क्योंकि टाइम पीरियड देखो, CPA का भी शुरुआत हो गया था, प्रॉपरली शुरुआत हो गया था वर्ल्ड वॉर के बाद, आफ्टर सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर. डेवलपमेंट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का भी आफ्टर सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर. क्लियर पीपल? सो बोथ, what I was telling before that, I was telling some example, right? WhatsApp governance, that much I remember. All right. So WhatsApp governance के future है. Clear? Where everything will come in WhatsApp. Now, when we talk, that is administrative development. Development administration, when I say, I have a particular target to achieve. Reduce the poverty. Increase the employment. Increase the infrastructural investment. Particular goal is there, a mission is there, an objective is there. Nodal officer example. Thank you, Sakshi. So, what Abhinav's duty now is, so earlier Abhinav in the 50s, what he would have done? Abhinav in the 50s, he would have been like, nothing doing. What am I here? I'm sitting here to help businessmen or what? Nonsense. That is how he would have reacted. But Abhinav in 2025, he will basically do what? Abhinav will, if I go to his office, Abhinav will put all the documents in front of me. Sir, इन कागजों पे आपके बस एक साइन की जरूरत है. I will just sit and sign. Give it back to him. जमीन, other clearances, उसके लिए कितना डिपॉजिट चाहिए, सेफ्टी डिपॉजिट, सिक्योरिटी डिपॉजिट, माई लीगल टीम एंड फाइनेंस टीम विल इंटरैक्ट विद अभिनव. बात खत्म. 50s या 80s या इवन 90s में प्रॉब्लम क्या था? आई विल हैव टू टेक द डॉक्यूमेंट्स, हर एक गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट में जाओ, क्लियरेंस ले लो, फिर दूसरे डिपार्टमेंट में जाओ. नथिंग डूइंग एनीमोर. नथिंग डूइंग एनीमोर. दैट इज एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव डेवलपमेंट. क्योंकि जो तरीका या प्रोसेस आप इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के लिए, वो बदल गया है. अभी आप मैं हूं कलेक्टर, वो जमाना गया. गांव में, छोटे मोटे शहरों में आप वो पावर दिखा सकते हैं. बड़े बड़े शहरों में आपका रोल इज मोर ऑफ अ फैसिलिटेटर. बोलो भैया, मैं कैसे आपके सेवा कर सकता हूं. दैट इज द चेंज दैट इज हैपनिंग. यू हैव टू सपोर्ट बिजनेसेस, यू हैव टू सपोर्ट इन्वेस्टमेंट. You are more like a representative from the government to ensure that investment is happening. That is administrative development. Development administration, simple. 80 crore people are dependent on National Food Security Act for khana. I need to change that. What can I do for it? How can I reduce the poverty? How can I improve the employment? How can I ensure that people are having roti, kapda, makan? How can I ensure people's better health? How to eradicate malaria? These are what we call development administration, because clear goal, clear target, clear objective. Coming back to Akshat's query again. One more reason I will tell you why I said we cannot trust that syllabus completely, because many topics are overlapping. Many topics are overlapping, especially if you see paper 1 ki, I think last chapter is about finance and stuff, which is there in paper 2. दोनों उठाओ, थोड़ा तुलना करो, you will find many topics are overlapping, which is nothing but economics again. Because fiscal policy, what is it, dealing with external sector, all those things comes over there. That means if you actually study public administration, you will even end up budgeting, all that comes. You will even end up studying economics also. Many topics are overlapping. That is why many people will say public administration 26 chapters are there as per UPSC syllabus. But in effect, if you actually count and compress and put it together, max to max 16 or 17 chapters. That's all that is there, because both are topics repeated. Clear, people? It involves refashioning of established agencies. Administrative development, on the other hand, refers to the evolving capacity of an administrative system, irrespective of place or status of the country. Some of the indices of administrative development are increase in size and budgetary allocation, increasing diversification and specialization, professionalization of administrative personnel. Size बढ़ा दो, budget allocation बढ़ा दो, organization का, that is administrative development. Diversification and specialization मतलब उनका काम और diversify कर दो, अलग कर दो, एक ही काम दे दो उनको. Administrative personnel को और भी professionalized बना दो. Like I told you, if your role in the future will be more of a facilitator. Regulator का role और भी कम होते होते जाएंगे. ये मत करो, वो मत करो. That zamana is literally going to go away. Getting the point here? And this one point here, development administration involves refashioning of established agencies. Refashioning का मतलब क्या है? नया फैशन. उनका काम करने का तरीका, उनका अंदाजा या नजरिया वो बदल दो. जैसे कि CRPF, if you see it in the Naxal area, हमेशा इन लोगों का बस एक ही इमेज है. वो क्या है? गन ट्रॉटिंग. बंदूक लेकर वो पूरा काला ग्रीस सब कुछ लगवाकर ऐसे पकड़कर मार्च करना. गांव वाले देखते ही घबराएंगे, एंड आदिवासी लोग हैं तो और भी घबराएंगे. तो इसे कैसे रीफैशन कर सकते हैं? ये गन ट्रॉटिंग, गुस्सा वाला चेहरे से. क्योंकि देखो, nobody feels happy to get posted in a jungle where bullet can come any time and take your life, or a bomb can blast, you can go up. Nobody feels happy when they wake up in the morning, they have to go to the deep in the forest. पानी वानी कुछ भी नहीं है, बस पीने का पानी है. तो जो भी आपको करना है, नंबर 1 या नंबर 2 करने के बाद, leave. You use and you wipe. Nobody will feel happy about it. I'm talking about the reality here. Nobody will feel happy. तो गुस्से वाला गन ट्रॉटिंग CRPF अच्छा नहीं होगा नक्सलिज्म कम करने के लिए. तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? उसका रीफैशन अब कैसे कर सकते हैं? मेडिकल सर्विसेज कर दो. बेसिक नॉलेज ऑफ मेडिसिन हर CRPF को ट्रेनिंग दे देता है. एंड आदिवासी लोगों के पास भी छोटे छोटे बीमारियां ही आते हैं, लेकिन सही वक्त इलाज ना होने की वजह से क्या होता है? वो बिगड़ जाता है. सो सम कट इज देयर, यू इमीडिएटली गिव एन एंटी टेटनस इंजेक्शन. बीमार है, यू गिव अ पैरासिटामोल. लूज मोशन है, यू गिव व्हाट इज इट, द एंटी डायरिया टैबलेट्स. अब क्या बनेगा? मेडिकल सर्विसेज, देन कंस्ट्रक्शन में उनकी मदद, घर ऐसा सब कुछ बनाने के लिए. अब ऐसे करने के वजह से क्या हो रहा है? नजरिया बदलता है. their view, the tribal people will view the CRPF, that will change. That is development administration. Getting the point here? Because we have a target there, we have a mission there. What is what? Naxalism कम करवा दो. एंड इससे नक्सलिज्म तो डेफिनेटली कम हो जाएगा. हर बात के लिए बुलेट लेना जरूरी नहीं है. तमीज से, प्यार से भी अगर आप बिहेव करोगे तो ये चीज आप कम कर सकते हैं. कम से कम नक्सलिज्म के लिए जो रिक्रूटमेंट हो रहा है वो तो आप कम कर सकते हैं. दैट इज द आइडिया. क्लियर? Same thing what we have already seen. Development administration, which is focused on development activities, also need administrative development to suit the need of development. यानी कि दोनों चाहिए आपको. डेवलपमेंट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन आप अगर करना चाहते हैं थ्रू डेवलपमेंट एक्टिविटीज, एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन का भी डेवलपमेंट जरूरी है. द टर्म डेवलपमेंट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन originated in 1955 with an Indian scholar Goswami, but the conceptualization and elaboration were done by Western scholars. The most important contribution came from Comparative Administrative Group, CAG in USA in 1960-61, under the aegis of the American Society for Public Administration. F.W. RIGGS, the long-time chairman of CAG, came to be regarded as the prime mover of academic interest in the field of development administration. तो इसका भी DA, CPA दोनों का it is F.W. RIGGS through his agrarian industrial typology and fused prismatic diffracted societies typology. क्योंकि वहां से हमें पता चल कर सकते हैं किस हद तक डेवलपमेंट हो गया है, किस हद तक नहीं. ये दोनों थियरी से भी हमें पता कर सकता है, क्योंकि यू आर कंपेयरिंग बेसिकली. फ्रॉम दैट यू विल इजीली गेट टू नो वेदर डेवलपमेंट हैज हैपेंड और नॉट. लेटर मॉडिफिकेशंस वी विल take it up on Monday, because that उसमें थोड़ा theory है which I want you to listen in a fresh mind. All right people, let's call it a day.